Hey, Tiger fans. Mark Fitzpatrick with Tiger Club of Kansas City. It's Tuesday, August 25th. We are 2 days away from the season opener, and our guest speaker today, Director of Athletics, Laird Veatch. Laird, thanks for coming up.
Happy to do it, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Interesting today, most of the questions you got were based on business issues with the NCAA, NIL, and everything, which more so than how are the teams.
Yeah.
It's a tough job you have these days.
Well, thank you. It is not the job that it was, a few years ago. It has definitely evolved a lot. I spend a lot more time, with attorneys and finance folks and other people in the background than I used to. But it's there's also opportunity in that, and that's the attitude we have been taking. We got to continue to take. Is there's a lot of change and a lot of chaos happening, but if we embrace it, if we try to be really strategic, smart, aggressive, and continue to push, then we can use an opportunity to elevate like we have been.
Two things that I think come up a lot. First of all, NIL, and then also transfers. So NIL, talk about what's going on with that in 2 minutes or less.
Yeah. Well, I guess in summary, it is important for folks to know that over the last few years, we've been in this unregulated environment, right? We lost lawsuits. NIL came on the scene. We didn't have any real oversight of it. And now there's been a settlement that's taken place this summer that puts us into more of a regulated environment. So we have now essentially what functions as a salary cap. So the term you're going to hear is revenue sharing. And there's a cap the first year of $20.5 million that all schools can choose if they want to. If they can come up with the resources, if they want to, they can allocate those to student athletes, as part of their NIL benefits that they provide to the institution, right? And then on top of that cap, which is regulated, there's oversight of it. There's a clearinghouse that manages it. There's going to be enforcement of that. There's also the opportunity for student athletes to secure true third-party NIL deals. So not from us, but from a business or organization that wants to sponsor that student athlete and really activate their marketing efforts through our student athletes and the platform they have. So we're working a lot in the background on how do we continue to facilitate those, put those together, help our student athletes receive those, because that goes on top of the cap. So competitively for us, it's important that we help, try to provide those opportunities. So hopefully that was 2 minutes or less.
That was good. That's good. Okay, on transfers, is there any movement to try to change that rule, or does the legal world just not going to let that happen?
Yeah, currently the legal world has not allowed this to happen. I mean, you asked a good question when we were here earlier about, one of the lawsuits that involved a community college player of another institution, and currently that we have lost that lawsuit in the current form, right? Yeah. So that's been stayed. We're sitting now at a position where those student athletes now have opportunities. So all that continues to happen. So until we get to a point where Congress acts or some type of federal legislation that really, kind of solidifies this settlement and the movement that we've made collectively as college athletics, until we get to a point where we can get protected from some of the lawsuits and we can kind of stabilize that environment, we're going to continue to have those challenges. And we'd like to get to more stability. I personally believe less transfers is truly better for student athletes because they have more stability. They have an opportunity to progress academically. They have an opportunity to kind of work through some things before they make a quick decision. But they also need to have the opportunity to have some flexibility and realize the revenue that they can now generate. So there's a balance there, but it's one of the many things that has to be kind of worked out more on the political and legal side, and like most things in our world right now.
All right, let's talk about football and start of the season too.
How about that?
Yeah, that's great. You've sold out season tickets. You have 4 games that are sold out, including the opener Thursday night. A lot of optimism around this season, I think.
Yeah, it has been awesome to see the response from our fan base. As many folks painfully know, we raised prices quite a bit. Kind of changed our structure, and our people have responded. I think we have an opportunity to continue to sell out more of those games, and I am really confident we're going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to buy tickets, the week of, GA tickets coming into the stadium. You're going to have to buy them ahead of time. So, it's an awesome spot to be in. We got to continue to build on that momentum. We still need to, sell those last few tickets, and of course, getting the energy going in these first couple games will be a big part of that.
So talk about a little bit about the construction, how that might affect the fans this season.
Yeah, thanks for the question. So the north end, as I think most of our fans know, is a construction site. So it'll be blocked off during the game. So once once the gates open, which is now 2 hours before the game instead of 90 minutes to give a little more time. Folks will be able to walk around that. Construction will stop, and they'll be able to walk around that and enter on either the east or west side, or the south end if you're in the south end. So just we encourage people to plan ahead and then enter on the side that their seats are. But also get there earlier. We got a lot of highway construction going on, I-70, 63, so concerned about that as well. And even with this Thursday, because it is a school day still, the parking lots don't actually open until 2 o'clock. So, we got a lot to balance there. And so we're just asking, fans to please try to work with us, be thoughtful, but really think about, getting there as soon as you can, and also, kind of make your way to the stadium as soon as you can.
Last thing I want to say, a comment, what came through today as you were speaking is you have a lot of confidence in where our athletic department is, even in these very turbulent and changing times.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of reasons for that. So it comes from a very genuine place, but if you just step back and look at us objectively, we have, winning football, men's basketball programs. You've got other sports that are doing really well. You've got clear commitment from our board of curators, our president on athletics. Great fan base. We're in the SEC. People are excited. So we're starting to really embrace the opportunity that's there. But we've taken this approach that we're gonna take it as an opportunity, work through all this change, and be real innovative, be aggressive, be on the front line. If we do that, that's why I'm optimistic. We got to just keep that attitude up and keep pushing and kind of ride this wave, because we got to get to a point where Mizzou is truly and consistently competing for championships year in, year out. Right? There's another kind of level we can get to. We're on that climb. We're doing really good things, but how do we get to the point where we're truly cutting down nets, we're raising trophies, we're in championship competitions, and the impact that will have on our brand, on our university, on our state economy, it's a pretty massive thing when you step back and think about it. So we got to do what's necessary to get there, which isn't easy, right? It takes investment, it takes commitment, it takes being willing to go and do those extra things to get there.
All right, Laird, thank you. I could talk to you for hours, but you have a department to run. So hey, Laird Veatch, our department is in great hands with this guy. Hope to see you at the opener on Thursday night. And then next week, those Kansas Jayhawks come to Columbia to renew that rivalry. Next week, our speaker at the Westport Flea Market will be Carrington Harrison from 610 Sports, and he has a new movie coming out that he's produced about the Arrowhead Armageddon, the 2007 Missouri-Kansas game. So come and join us at the flea market. For more information on memberships and activities, go to kctigerclub.com.